GM guys, I think Max is having some issues with his mic. Max, yeah, we are unable to hear you right now. Hope I am audible, Tom. I'm gonna check it quickly.
All right. How about now?
Yeah, you're back.
Aye. Sorry about that. Elgato, when it works, it's beautiful, but when it errors out, it's so annoying. What's even crazier is it doesn't show you anything. It's not like, hey, mic's not working.
It does show you if you check the
Yeah, if you
browser.
check up here, that was my fault.
Yeah.
I didn't check. Let's see. Still one. Yep. I didn't check the little indicator on the screen here. But anyway, everybody, welcome to Flash Hour. I apologize. Typically, what I'll do is a little monologue. I just wanted to say that relatively slow in the Solana ecosystem as far as like news announcements and things like that. You can even see the typical news stuff has been a little dry, but irregardless, Flash keeps shipping. Anas actually put in a few commits, which is pretty amazing. Silent Janitor. I was just doing the meme thing. That's what I was trying to do. You guys were supposed to interpret for me. But yes, let's get right into it. So typically we do a state of the trenches. It allows everybody to funnel in. So this way it gives people just a chance to sit down, grab their coffee, and get ready for a action-packed flash hour. So state of the trenches right off the bat is oil volatility muted despite U.S. taking over Venezuela, literally taking it over, which is really surprising. I thought there was going to be a lot of action.
Yep. So interestingly, when the oil markets open, it was almost 4 a.m. here in Asia. So we were all up. The team was up to see what would happen since we offer up to 50x leverage. So
Yeah,
very
for sure.
interestingly, it didn't move much. It was just $1 down and $1 up. So very, very surprised with the move that happened on the crude oil market overall. And then I just went into dug deeper into what actually might have happened. So the thing is, China used to buy a whole lot of oil from Venezuela. So
Yeah.
even after US taking over, there seems to be no place for China to buy that cheap oil. So with that in mind, things seems to be balanced overall, where there is the supply is just there, and US have to basically work towards making that crude oil out of Venezuela. So they have to mine it much faster, at a faster rate. Right now it's being not being mined at that faster rate, so it might take some time to get things up.
Yeah, and if I'm not wrong, Venezuela has the largest oil deposit
Yes,
in the
it
world.
has, but it takes some time to create that infrastructure to remove that oil from the field. So
Oh yeah, it could take several years from what I've heard.
probably, so that's why the oil shock, which people might have thought didn't happen, and if you remember, in 2020, oil actually went negative,
Yep.
minus $10 or something like that, and we were really afraid that if markets go negative, we need to make sure the handling, everything works smoothly on Flash, and we were just digging deeper into the mechanics and making sure things are smoother on all sides. So very
Yeah.
happy to report things are good.
Make sure there was no like programmatic thing where you're not able to enter a trade at negative.
An
That'd
overflow.
be
So
super mad.
basically, when you have no handling for zero or negative markets, overflow occurs, and due to the overflow glitch, there is probability where unexpected amount of money can go from here to there. So yeah.
Interesting. And then silver is up by 3.5% today, but the crazy part is it is up massively. There was some speculation that some big banks were in real trouble because of some short liquidations and trying to cover some shorts. So there were some big teams. I saw the news was saying there's some big teams that were flying out unexpectedly and they just happened to be some of these banks' metal teams. So I thought, oh no, that's not good. So might see some fallout from that. Ownership tokens becoming mainstream. That was a good switch, by the way. Ownership tokens are becoming mainstream. It is
Yep.
becoming a full blown narrative pushed by one man. I would say he is probably the biggest reason,
Yeah.
the prophet. So he did such a great job of building this character. I just watched his Solana
Mhm.
video from Breakpoint. He did such a great job creating a narrative, creating a character, building on that narrative, pushing, his kind of, dream or what do you call it? What do you call it? His not his dream, but his drive, like the thing that he's
Yep.
trying to go to.
I think,
Did
yeah.
really
So
good job of that.
yep. So we had few calls last week, and the underlying answer was, tokens as it is are basically dead. If you see any of the tokens that are on the market, there is literally no demand for any sort of token right now in the market, and that is the reason why we have never seen an altcoin market since 2018, late
Yeah.
2018, where when we actually had the ICO boom. That is when we had the altcoins surging everywhere. But since then, we haven't seen any sort of huge rallies across different altcoins, which is coins that are
Yeah.
different than blockchain tokens. And even the DeFi tokens who are providing value to the whales and the you know users are still not seeing that uptick they usually used to see back in the day. So there needs to be some thought process, and there needs to be clarity on what token actually means, and things are being done. And I think overall, founders or the teams who issue tokens need to ask this question for themselves, that would they hold the token that they are issuing. So if you ask yourself that question, and if you get the answer, make sure it's aligned. And then if you are able to create your token in such a manner that you yourself would like to hold, then I think markets can fix. And that is how we tried our best to make FAF what it is today. So I basically asked the question to myself, that why would I hold FAF? So my
Yeah.
answer was, I need some money if I want to hold FAF. And that is how we are uh, have the mechanism live right now. And as things scale, we probably will see FAF go up. So that is the basic mechanism of token. Like, it should basically reflect whatever that is happening on the protocol level. The token should reflect in terms of price action. And I think there seems to be a very big issue with a lot of teams that are shipping greatly, but the token is not reflecting that thing. And I think we had this conversation that happened where one of the co-founders of Jupiter were asking, they want to stop the buybacks. They have done more than $70 million worth of buyback in the last 12 months, and that all money has not contributed even a percentage in rise in the token. It has actually crashed. I think it's down more than 90% since it went live. So
Yeah.
yeah, the conversations are happening, and they need to happen at a faster rate, and things need to be corrected, because if this goes on, the whole DeFi sector would just end up dead, because the value of the companies should also rise when they become valuable, if they are providing value. So that is what this whole thing is about, the ownership tokens, and making sure the value is propagated to users. Yeah, as Tom highlighted, the unlocks are really bad also. Like, we've been talking about this, that when there are team unlocks or any other sort of investor unlocks, there needs to be an accountability attached to it. Random linear vesting unlocks would not work in any sort of markets.
No.
So yeah, that is why if you check any of the MetaDAO's ICO tokens, all of them have different unlock structures, and they are dependent on the market caps that the team would reach. So this is what you see in traditional finance as well, where the CEO and the board members, they get their shares unlocked as they do certain tasks.
Certain
And
requirements.
this, yes, and this opens up this box of accountability. So I think a lot of people have not given any thought to this, and I'm happy the market is forcing its hand over people to make things right, and
Yeah.
that's why we work in open markets. So yeah, really lovely things happening, and I think if people don't take a relook over their token economics, those companies will certainly be dead in the coming months or years,
Yeah.
irrespective of the treasuries they have. If they don't have a clear token economic structure, they are bound to fail. And we all need to take note of what the market wants and try to follow as best as possible, as fast as possible. So yeah,
The other thing
just
is
wanted to talk about this. Yeah.
fully dilution, like fully diluted token from the
Yes.
start, and then
Yes.
only when you meet specific milestones. This is going to become a norm because
Yes.
it's BS that you can just exit. I'm sorry, that's the truth. It's complete and utter garbage that you can launch your token and immediately cash out, and then you have and then the team's like, screw it. And this is why you see certain projects that potentially had, they had a ton of potential, but the team has lost all motivation. They've stopped shipping because now they're somewhere on a
They're anyways getting the
beach.
money, right?
Yeah,
They're anyways
there's no
getting the
reason.
money. Yeah.
Everybody who wanted the money on the big playing tables already got the money, and then the bag holders, the token holders. So
Yep.
yeah, and then these buyback things. And don't get me wrong, there are some teams who have, trudged on irregardless of whatever happened with their token. So, it's not a
Yes.
shade to everybody, but we've seen this over and over again. Let's not pretend like it isn't real.
Yep.
Buybacks are bearish. Yes, definitely turned out to be a really bad narrative. Buybacks are bearish. They have turned out to be no bueno.
Exactly.
It's
Like
kind of
I
like
you
when the tide goes out.
we had this discussion in our Discord channel as well, where couple of community members were telling us to do the buyback, and I was like, what is the purpose of doing a buyback? Like after doing the buyback, what should I do with that FAF? Why should I burn it? Like if you see what Jub did, they are burning that money. What is the reason behind burning that money?
Yeah.
There is no reason.
Yeah.
It's much more respective for the sake of money to give it to the holders than to just burn and have
Yeah.
this huge unlocks that are bigger than their buybacks. So yeah, I think markets are forcing its hand to the truth, and it's very happy to see what's happening. And yeah, I think it's time everyone takes their notes and then follow up with a very better transparent structure.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Market has
that's what
spoken.
requires of DeFi. Yeah.
The market has spoken.
Yeah.
So Ranger Finance ICO launches, funny enough, with ownership tokens, January 6th via MetaDAO. So,
Yes.
or ownership coins. I keep getting flogged for that, but potato. Poly Markets integrates Parcel for prediction markets. That was a big one. I mean, that's a big win for Parcel. I'm sure that was probably a huge integration that they've been working on for many months. So congrats to the team at Parcel for getting that done. And if you're not aware of what they are, it's basically like a prediction platform, but for real estate. So Poly Markets took note and integrated them, which is nice to see. Ondo Finance targeting early 2026 launch. So Ondo Finance is coming to Solana. If you're not aware, they're the largest RWA project in crypto. So they'll be launching on Solana, which is a huge, massive boon for the Solana ecosystem. RWA TVL is still hitting all-time highs, even with all this, like everybody saying, oh, all these tokens aren't going up. Actually, a lot of adoption of RWA, a lot of adoption of real world assets. What does that mean? Stocks, commodities, forex, things like that. Metals, of
Yeah.
course. Metals is a big one. As you can see, we added the Tether Gold, so that's another massive, on-chain boon for sure for gold. Solana ETFs saw passive inflows, so even though there are kind of a lot of people are kind of feeling in the middle or a little bit bearish, Solana ETFs are still chugging along as ETH ETFs and BTC ETFs. I didn't want to put this in there, but are actually seeing net outflows. So super interesting. I wonder where the money's going. But other than that, that wraps it up. And let's get into. All right. So The only thing I wanted to say on this before we start is kind of explain for the new people here. By the way, if you're new here, we really appreciate it. Drop a like, follow us on X. Maybe you're on YouTube. Subscribe there, drop a like, drop a comment, do all the usual social media stuff. And another quick note, just as an announcement, is that we do have like an episodic series coming out on our Instagram. We're trying to keep it lighthearted, friendly, just banter between the team. It'll be fun, funny, all that good stuff, so that it is entertaining while still being educational for Flash Trade. So check us out on Instagram if you haven't. We'd love to see you there. But yeah, starting here, phase 1 is already finished. Maybe you could get into a little bit of phase 1 and then what is phase 2. So just catch everybody up with phase 1.
For sure. Yeah, the V2 margin engine V2 upgrade is like one of the biggest upgrades that are being done at Flash to make things more, basically add more pairs on like the exchange and add more assets, because more assets means more variety of things you can trade on Flash irrespective of the backing. And with phase 1, we basically migrated the whole positions and the whole structure to a new engine, which is much more better than what we have on V1. You can already see the liquidation prices are much better. Before, the liquidation prices were very tight, and now the collateral that we used to lock in, it was used to be fully backed by the asset itself, which gave you a variable liquidation price. Now it's an USDC, so your liquidation does not change as much as it used to before. So that makes trading on Flash much more easier or much more convenient. And that has actually, like, we can see the things happening on Flash right now. Like, before, we never used to have this much amount of open interest and volume, constant volume at least. Now we are seeing traders who are doing constant volume and constantly having some sort of longs and shorts open. So the margin engine is being used as it was designed for. And with that, the phase 2 of the V2 was adding the flexible lock utilization, which is one of the most unique systems that we're adding, where irrespective of the asset that we could not source on chain, we could list it by having a correlated asset that is already in the pool. So it basically unlocks more assets that we can list. So since it is a very new structured system, we wanted to go with a pool that has much more a flexibility to it. So pool 2 was fully synthetic pool. When we launched, it was all USDC backed trading, and then we basically added gold to it. And now all the trading that is happening on silver perps is also backed by gold perps. Since there is a very heavy correlation between gold and silver, we are able to basically use the same asset and provide trading for two assets, which allows much more higher APY and better alignment as sort, because now you have gold exposure, which is one of the oldest or the oldest up only asset on this planet. So very happy to have this thing live on Flash, and it's sort of a very big thing for us behind the scene, because we've been testing it for months now, and it just went live today, where now all the trading that is happening on silver, even now you can check, the volumes on silver has been picking up very good of late. And even the price action of silver has been very volatile. It on few days it has been had higher volatility than Sol and Bitcoin itself. So a very big launch overall. And then uh, so yeah, Flu is live, and now we would be slowly rolling out more pairs after having the successful launch of Silver. We would basically be testing Silver right now for 10 days or so that we don't see any sort of edge case that comes out, because pool 2 was a synthetic pool, so we have much better control over things there. So finally Flu is live, and with this phase 2 launch, we would be basically open up to adding more assets like BNB, Ripple, Dodge, Hype, all those assets that we really missed back in the day, we could add the same assets using the collaterals that we have in the pool. So
Yeah.
overall, this is a very huge launch at Flash.
Yeah, under the hood, this is a massive launch. I think some people, let's just break it down super simple. If there's a high correlation between BTC and said asset, whatever that asset might be, then we can utilize the flu mechanism for you to take the collateral in BTC. So on our end, it'll be BTC. On your end, it'll be seamless. You're not going to get BTC back, although obviously you could if it was on that pool. If you so choose. But that's kind of the big unlock, is that we can use a different collateral for whatever market that you want to trade in, as long as there's high correlation in it. And that will lead to, like Anas said, is just a massive amount of more listings. And with Zahib, the big one is some of the SIMD proposals that are actually up that will also help out greatly for sure. So if somebody from that department there is watching, maybe helps out, push it through a little. That would be nice. Very nice. I won't get into details of that, but if you want to learn more, we did cover it last week. So now, what's coming? Oh, wait a minute. Did I pick those up? I
You
sure
missed
did.
what did we get in this video?
There we go. I got it here. Mixed them up. Mixed the slides up.
No worries, no worries. Yep, I think overall, since last 2 weeks, there has been a push for huge improvements on the back end, because since our roadmap is projected us towards adding more assets, we need to make sure our back end and the front end is performant enough so that it's able to handle all these assets at once. Because when you're talking about hundreds of 200s of assets, the UI needs to be built different than what it is right now. So the current UI that we had, it only had basic handling, and the backend was capable of handling just the assets that we had, which is less than 25. So we needed a different beast that handles all things behind the scene. And that is what we've been doing over these few weeks. This has been going on for 2 weeks now, and I think it will continue for 2 more weeks, because we basically are changing the whole structure of how the calls are done, how charts are fetched, how markets are fetched, and how the positions are being handled. And super interestingly, this is the main time. This is also the time that we are also moving things towards ephemeral rollups and a definite deployment. So things are really, I'm happy that we are able to combine these two things, because these two are different architectures. Like on ephemeral rollups, what we are going to do is we're going to keep the trading page fully on the ephemeral rollup, and the earn page would be basically an interaction on the mainnet. So these are two pages on the same UI but connected to different backends.
Yeah.
So that
nothing
requires
changes
a very
for the trader besides
nothing
speed,
changes for the trader.
reliability.
Yes.
Zero gas
And
fees.
zero gas fees, zero transaction fees, zero account fees. Everything is handled by us. You just need some.
Sheesh.
Yes, you just need few USDC in your account, and that's it. You are on. And as you all know, like, we are the only place where you can trade with just $1 collateral. So that would extend to Magic Blocks. And so these two things are basically are being worked in a combination way, so that we are able to scale things. And lot of we also hired a new guy on the back end side, because the things needs to be performant, and the team did not have that engineering understanding. So just to get that whole understanding, we just hired someone on that side as well. I think he started just today. So
nice.
A lot of things. These two things are covered that we did this past week. And then ownership token migration is under works. Basically, what we'll do is the liquidity that we have for the token is on Radium AMM. That will be moved to the MetaDAO's AMM, and the same liquidity would be now used if we put up a proposal, which makes things much more efficient. Because before, you had to put up separate sort of liquidity into the proposal. Something about 50 to 100,000 worth of tokens or USDC had to be put up for a proposal. So now, if you move your liquidity under the MetaDAO's AMM, this same liquidity can be used for the trading of the proposals and overall market making as well, because the MetaDAO's AMM would also be plugged into Jupiter's API and the Titan Exchange's API. They have worked their asses off to get it fully compliant with the rest of the AMMs. So yeah.
Great stuff. And then what does that mean for the user when it comes to voting?
Yes, I think it gives them very less slippage overall, because before, when you traded proposals, there was to be high slippage because the markets were not liquid, and the markets used to go in a different price path than the real market that is on Radium. And there used to come then you used to see people arbing, where they used to sell the tokens and then buy the tokens on the market, or do vice versa, which is inefficient. And LPs who provide liquidity on the MetaDAO's market would lose some money because of this inefficiency. So this would be minimized. And overall, and then there is legal part of it, which is also under works. And yeah, I think MetaDAO also put up a proposal where they would first basically move the liquidity for their token first, because even MetaDAO's token liquidity was on a different AMM. So they're going to do that first for themselves, and the next thing is us going in the direction. So yeah.
Awesome.
Oh my God. A lot of conversations and stuff. Yeah, and the next thing is, Progressive Web App is live on Flash. You can basically open up Flash on your mobile phones and then add it to your home screen, and then you will have a seamless sign-in experience where you need not have to keep signing in. If you sign in once using your email, that's it. It works seamlessly.
Yes. Progressive Web App is super awesome. Just to give an awesome break on the speaking here. It's just really nice to be able to have it right there. I have a Seeker phone and actually a Saga phone, thanks to Zahib. And I like trading on there. I like using it. It's like it's just a, what do you call it? It's like having a wallet on your desk. I do actually have the Helium cellular. I still use my primary, to be honest, but I do like using it. I use it at my desk quite a bit, but it's so seamless on the Seeker phone that trading on it is just a lot nicer. You could trade straight from your seed phrase, or what do they call it? Seed vault from the Seeker phone, which is really awesome. Signing, transaction, everything is just super smooth. So yeah, and then of course, if you have an Android, you can download it natively. So can you do it with iPhone? I don't think you can. I don't think they offer that, do they? Or am I?
No, you as I said, like the PWA, you can basically add it on your mobile as an app.
Oh, through Safari you can. That's right.
Yes. So it basically acts as an app, and it just gives you the sign in very smoothly. Like if you open the app, you're always signed into the app. You don't need to log in again and do the things that you used to do before. So it's a very seamless experience.
We have a cool marketing video coming out here soon too.
Yep. If I were to just share my screen, like it just looks like this, and when you just open it up, you're always signed in with your position and all the stuff looking at, like, it's just
super smooth.
It's like an app overall. So, and it works very smoothly. Like if you just compare it with the Phantom or Soulflare app experience,
issues.
There are some issues with those apps, and we have seen a constant barrage of issues, because since Phantom has been trying to expand over other networks, I don't think they are keeping things up very well on the Solana side of things. So
yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, we've definitely seen some issues with just browser support in general. And then the other strange part is, like, each one of them use some sort of different browser. So then we have to figure it out, debug from our end. And yeah, it's kind of been a nightmare. The PWA and the DApp store has been a godsend for us. It definitely helps a lot with user experience. So DevNet deployments of the Ephemeral Rollup. Let's freaking go. So excited about Magic Block.
For sure. I think it is one of the major upgrades that will help us to cut down all the costs that we have been paying on the mainnet. So, for instance, not many people know this, but we've been paying like something around 0.7 to 1 Sol every day to run Flash on the mainnet. So it basically translates to about $3,000 to $5,000 per month that we are paying just to run everything smoothly on the mainnet. So just imagine just this cost going off, and with that we will be having the best seamless experience of the fastest exchange and the fastest things loading up. And then I think that is very important. But there is a bit of change in the structure when you go to the ephemeral rollup versus when you are trading on the flashes UI on mainnet. So when we basically deploy it on ephemeral rollup, you would basically have to create your own flash account and then deposit into it, because that account serves as your account on flash. Very similar structure that you see across other exchanges, where you have to deposit money into an account that is controlled by your wallet, and that account would basically serve as
Yep.
thing to trade with the app on the chain.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
I
it's
think that
very familiar for most people. I mean, hype,
yeah. A lot of people
drift,
get freaked out when they use Flash, because they're like, oh my god, there's no app account creation.
account.
It just opens the position using my wallet balance. So
Hmm. Yeah, the account model also allows for a little bit easier control too, right? So, so you can deposit in, and then you can do things like what do you call it? No sign transactions and stuff like that, or I guess if you enable it. But I mean, I guess you could do that with the wallet now. The other
yes,
interesting part about the ephemeral rollup, though, is the block ordering and the ability to make sure that your transaction lands. That's kind of a big one that's kind of overlooked with what we're moving into, right?
yes.
Because I mean, sometimes on mainnet, obviously, we are all very aware, or at least I am painfully aware, is that sometimes your transaction doesn't land, and you're very frustrated. But I mean, it's nothing that the protocol itself can do. It's just that the transaction was not able to land on mainnet, and with ephemeral rollup, with thanks to Magic Block, we can somewhat. I mean, the vast majority can guarantee that the transaction lands, which is huge.
Yep.
All right.
Oh,
Oh,
I
there you
think
go.
you just
Yep.
yeah.
What's coming? This is my favorite one.
For sure.
So next step for flu mechanism, well, as we just discussed, we are rolling that out. It is already live on Pool 2. So all of those cool, neat features and testing environment, I guess you could say testing, but like we know we've tested it for months now. We know that it works. We just want to make sure that there's no you know little things that might go wrong on our side. So Pool 2 is live, Flu is live. Funding mechanism is phase 3. You want to
Yes.
explain a little bit more about the funding mechanism, but explain why it's important, because
Yes.
there's a really good reason why this is so important.
For sure. I think the most important part is the cost. When you open a position on Flash and hold it for a longer term, the fees that is accrued is basically one-sided fees, and it does not contribute to anyone taking the opposite side of the trade to get that margin fees that is collected by the protocol. So overall, basically it opens up a way for other traders to join and earn that fees, and then get a balanced open interest for LPs. Because if you check the open interest any given day, we have more long OI than anyone else. So when the funding mechanism comes on in, it would basically allow people to take the short side of the open interest and earn the margin fees that is given by the people who want to long. And this basically contributes to more people longing and shorting on Flash, depending on their cases. And this basically contributes to more usage of the TVL, which basically contributes to more PNL. Sorry, my headphone fell off. More PNL to LPs, depending on the market condition. So this is something that we've cracked, I think, a few months ago, where we studied all the implementations of how the funding mechanism work across multiple exchanges of multiple sorts. And
Yeah.
then we concluded on this mechanism where we wanted to do a peer-to-peer settlement, and the pool would not get any share of the funding fees unless there is someone who takes up the other side.
Mm,
And if someone there is no one taking in that period, basically the pool would take up the margin fees.
mhm. What would this add up to, though, as far as for an LP or for a trader? That was the only thing, for the user, I should say. What's the kind of benefit for the user?
As I said, on the user side, it would be more on the side of if you had a thesis of taking a short trade, and then if there is the funding rate is positive, there is a chance you get paid to short on Flash.
Yep,
So
exactly.
right now there is no way you get paid to hold a position on Flash.
Yep,
You always have to be a payee if you are holding a position. But with the funding mechanism, depending on the skew of open interest, you can get some fees from Flash for holding a position against the market,
yes,
and this
exactly.
basically gives you more open interest.
And then for LPs, what's the difference there? I mean,
Yes. So,
essentially,
yeah, with LPs right now, if you see, as I said, like there was all people longing on the exchange. There was no one who was shorting.
yeah,
Now, if you get people to short as well,
yep,
LPs effectively hodl a delta neutral position
hmm,
where they get fees, they get money, they what they want, and they don't get much of the price action of the assets.
yep,
And overall, if the market move in any direction, people who win or lose would just cancel out each other.
yep,
So you are basically hedged to the both sides and earning fees overall.
yep.
So it's the wet dream of a lot of LPs,
Yes,
and
it
I
is.
think that is what a lot, because they don't want the huge volatile swings. They want a constant stream of money coming in. So this
Yes.
is what basically unlocks.
Yeah, I mean, if you were looking at it on a chart, it would be, yin yang all over the place. And then with the funding mechanism, it's going to balance it out, make it more, like you said, delta neutral or more delta neutral style, more consistent, I guess you could say, instead of like, this month it's 125%, on a rolling average for the week. And then next week it's like 10% or something. So it'll be a much more steady return instead of so volatile. And then expanding forex perps. That's a big one that I've been kind of pounding the table on, is getting the forex perps up, just because the market's so huge. Even though I think you made a really, really good point last time, is that this is mostly institutional, but there still is, a decent market for forex when it comes to individuals as well. The pool is so large that even if 5% were individuals, that's a huge market. So yeah, forex, expanding that. Just getting into what pairs are we looking at right now that you guys have evaluated?
Yeah, it's more around JPY, Chinese RMB, and then probably INR as well. So that is something that we are discussing right now. But we still
Awesome.
have two of the most traded pairs, which is Euro and British Pound.
Yeah,
And basically, it would complete the full offering when we have more forex pairs.
yeah,
And we already have those pairs at the cheapest fees possible. The idea is basically to complete the offering set with more pairs and then turn on the degen mode on it.
nice. Yeah, degen mode for forex, believe it or not, is actually not that unusual. Some forex, trading platforms have some serious level. I think it's like up to 1,000. Am I wrong? It's up to 1,000 on some platforms for forex because the
Yeah,
movement's so
yeah, yeah,
small.
yeah.
So
1000x. Yes, the
yeah,
movements are very tiny, so they give higher leverage.
yeah, much higher leverage. That imagine going 1,000x on Solana. Good luck. Or like 1,000x on Fartcoin.
We already
I
have
mean, hey,
500x. So yeah.
no, I mean we have 500x, but 1,000x, 500x is already like holy hell. Hold on to your pants. But the 1,000x would be wild. It's crazy. I mean, like you say, it's because the forex is not that volatile, so you can actually get to those. Are we gonna try to reach those numbers? 1,000x?
I think we can do.
Yeah.
Once we move on to magic blocks, we can probably do that.
Nice. Let's go. FLP integration into Titan, DFlow, and Jupyter routing. We've discussed this a few times. Just wanted to cover it one more time. I know it doesn't seem that important, but it actually is. It allows for better trading of FLP on the open market, right?
Yes.
So things like FLPR would be a big beneficiary of that.
For sure. I was just talking with someone, so sorry. Yeah, I think this is something that we are waiting for the SIMD to lock in, and then once
Mhm.
it goes out, we're probably able to get FLP into all those routers, and then use the liquidity for swapping as well.
Yeah, no worries. Let's see. And then that is it. That's about it. Did you have anything else to add for Flash Hour, or should we let these 161 listeners, there's 161 of you guys, repost, like, comment, do the algo stuff, all right? If you're on YouTube, drop a like, let us know you're there. This is only I think it's our third week on YouTube, either second or third. I believe it's third. We do drop a lot of shorts there as well. So if you're into the shorts, or if you're into more long format, obviously rewatch this or rewatch one of the other. Last week was a banger, by the way. If you guys missed last week, great episode of Flash Hour. Some of our old trade wars are there too, quite entertaining. I act absolutely ridiculous and put on my DGen glasses, and I have a nice little get up that I do. So lots of fun things to explore with Flash Trade. Sometimes with these Flash Hours, we don't recover something that we covered last week. So there are still nuggets in the past if you do get the chance to kind of sift through some of the old shorts. I'm trying to keep the shorts a little bit shorter. Just for you all. That was some user-driven things that we've paid attention to in the community. We used to have them around a minute and a half to like 2 minutes. So now we're cutting them down to 30 seconds to 45 seconds based off of user demand. And that will be coming out shortly after this video. And then we also have Instagram as well, just to remind you. We do have an Instagram account that we are kicking up. We're trying to make that less technical, less Flash Hour-y, and more entertaining, but still trying to be a little bit educational when it comes to our content there. So look forward to that. And of course, we'd love it if you reposted it and dropped a like, maybe even a comment saying janitor, a janitorial spokesman. That's a janitorial spokesman is my new motto. So
Yeah.
other than that, Anas, did you have anything else to say to the audience while we have them here?
I think overall, it's tokens as it is are dead, and we are trying to revive them.
No, yeah, absolutely. The only thing I wanted to pick out of here, it says any plans for the tokens earmarked for liquidity that were never deployed. Any tokens?
Oh,
Is he
yeah,
talking
I think
about?
we had few tokens that we set aside that we didn't add liquidity using those tokens. Those are like $30,000 worth of tokens that we kept aside and haven't added them back into the liquidity pool. So we'll need to do that. So need to do something about it.
Yeah,
Is what I was
absolutely.
asking about.
Gotcha. I was like, what in the world? Hi, Cyber Broda. What's up, brother? Appreciate you coming, by the way. Saw your comment on X. We are very happy to see you here. Other than that, guys, I think Anas is done. I'm done. I'm just going to do a little monologue, sir. I will see you for stand-up here in a few minutes.
For sure.
All right, guys. Well, like I said, again, I really appreciate you tuning into Flash Hour. It means a lot to us. We do a lot of prep work for this. We make sure that we're trying to bring you as much value as possible while you're here. We appreciate your time very much. We know that you have a million other things to attend to on your Monday morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are tuning in from. So again, thanks you so much for tuning into Flash Hour week after week and staying up to date with Flash Trade. If you can, follow us across socials. We're on YouTube, X, and Instagram. Again, we just started up our Instagram. There will be an episodic series of about 7 episodes that we're going to be testing out. If you could do us a huge favor, repost. I'm terrible with Instagram. Repost it, like it, comment on it, get the algo really spun up with that. The more reach we have, the better it is for the FAF holders, and the more Flash Trade can get out there, the more traders we can get onboarded, and of course, one of our other big focuses, and of course, one of our big part of our community are ELPers. So really appreciate everybody who participates in the Flash ecosystem. Thank you to all of our partners as usual. And as always, we'll see you in the markets.